And so in today's celebration, they had a testimony. And this testimony went this way. There's a man who came on set, and he said, I never liked Pastor Chris. And I will say that he was deceiving the people. It's all some kind of telly trick. So he thought those miracles were tricks. He just didn't like Pastor Chris. But he had a problem with his son. Now, I didn't get to hear that part of exactly what was wrong with the son, but some kind of trouble to the point that he was just 4 years old. And he thought that the little boy was going to die because they couldn't even help him medically. So on this particular night, the boy was lying on the floor, and I think he was breathing heavily or something like that because he said there was some noise while he was breathing. So he tried to, he was confused. He said he had tried everything, and there was no help. Now, he comes into his house, he gets a bottle of beer, and while he's taking some drink, he turns his TV on, and it's Pastor Chris. And the very pastor he doesn't want to see on TV. But it's Pastor Chris. So, well, he's enjoying his beer. The little boy is on the floor. And then Pastor Chris says, I want to pray for you. So he thought, well, I've tried everything. I might as well just take some of the prayer. So, and on the TV, I reached out my hands and I said, you can stretch your hands this way or put your hand on my hand. That's on the screen. So he called his other son. He called his other son, and that one ran to the room. He said, follow this prayer, touch the screen, and then come touch your brother. Why didn't he do it himself? Well, this was just the way he wanted to do it. So he told his son, go ahead and then touch your brother. And so that one, stood there. I'm not sure he knew what he was doing, but he just received the prayer and then came to the brother and touched him and ran away back to play. But when he touched him, the father said he noticed the boy moved and the sound stopped. The breathing stopped. So he thought, Pastor Chris has killed my boy. So he knelt down close to him and tried to listen, and there was no breathing. So he decided to lie beside him, and it was faint. So he said, I'm going with my machete, and I'm going to the church tomorrow, and I'll kill as many people as I can because Pastor Chris has killed my boy. So anyway, long story, let me cut it short. It turned out the boy actually got healed. He got healed. 4 years old. He became normal. And now he's not thinking about who's to kill. He's thinking, where is the church? I got to go tell somebody what has happened to me. He didn't like Pastor Chris. But God brought healing through Pastor Chris into his home. Into his very home. Then later on, that boy that he called, the second son, that he called to touch this one, became blind. This was sometime after. Then again, Pastor Chris was on screen and uttered words. The boy's eyes opened right away. How can you explain those things? How can you explain them? And that was 21 years ago. He came with the boy to the set.